All right. Now let's go ahead and get you are live. Oh, I guess we didn't need to.
Okay.
You are
Excellent.
live.
Even better.
Even better.
Even better.
Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us. You are looking live here at DNA HQ for the live stream of the DNA Sports Recap. Actually, on our normal date and time today, believe it or not.
Hey, look at us go, man.
Look at us. By the way, it won't be next week.
and we're even on time.
We're even on time
that's
this time.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I think that's very impressive.
Yeah, I'm impressed.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah, we did good.
We did do well. So, yeah, now that we're done patting our backs, let's go ahead and jump into some sports talk, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right. So before we do that, let's go ahead and get our pre-show cheers.
Oh yeah.
Whatever just happened there.
Coaster down.
Cheers to you.
Cheers to you, my friends.
All right. Before we get into the subjects of and get the intro recorded for the podcast, I want to remind you folks that this is a live stream. We want to hear from you folks. If you're watching this live on our YouTube channel, or if you're watching live now in Instagram, we are now live on Instagram as well.
That's right.
Please feel free to drop something down in the chat there. We'd love to hear from where you guys are watching, and love to have you guys interact with us on the show. If you have any questions about what we're talking about, you have some insight, we'd love to address it live while we're chatting here. So,
yep,
be sure to drop your where you're watching from and all that kind of stuff in the comments there. We'd love to hear from you. All right, so you ready to go?
I think so.
Okay, awesome.
You like the confidence?
I love the confidence. You're so ready. All right. Hello, Internet. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
The Utah Utes have a secret weapon in the transfer portal. Who is it?
In the NBA, Utah may be looking for a combined arena for the Jazz and an NHL team.
And Rudy Gobert made some questionable comments. What were they? And how's it going to affect the NBA moving forward?
In Major League Baseball, Trevor Bauer does take the mound against the Dodgers. Let's go ahead and break that down. And breaking news, Dylan Cease has been traded to the San Diego Padres. All that and more. My name is Darren. That is AJ. And this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Roll the intro.
Hey, you said roll the intro this week.
Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, last week you didn't say it.
No, I didn't say it. I was on strike.
You were on strike?
Yeah.
You didn't want to say roll the intro.
No.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was different. It was different last week. Okay.
It was different. You were different.
I was a different man last week. I'm changed.
Changed man. I like it. All right. So where do you want to start today?
Let's go Utah Utes, man.
All right, let's do that. Okay. So what we want to talk about for the Utah Utes with spring camp breaking next week, actually. Exactly a week
They're
away.
actually in camp right now.
Oh, right. Okay,
yeah, they're in camp
this week.
right
today.
now.
Today was the first day, right?
Yeah. Might have been yesterday.
Really?
I don't know.
We'll get there, folks. We'll get there. But anyway, with the University of Utah reporting to spring camp, and we're just a couple of weeks away from spring ball, we'd like to go ahead and jump on here and take a quick moment to talk about the secret weapon that we feel is the best representation for the transfer portal that we've gotten this offseason. So why don't you go ahead and fire it off there?
Okay. My best player in the transfer portal to watch this season is the tight end transfer from UCLA, Carson Ryan.
That's right.
Carson Ryan played in 12 games, had 8 starts for UCLA, had 13 receptions for 205 yards. What info do you got? Because I got a couple of things, but I'm kind of curious what stuff you got on why you think Carson Ryan might be the best pickup for the Utes.
Okay, so just a little bit of background on the video. We were supposed to each pick one, and we both thought the other one would pick somebody else, so we both picked Carson Ryan.
The same person.
We're going to change the video a little bit, so when this goes out on YouTube. So if you're watching live on our live stream and you're listening to it on the podcast or watching the podcast, you're getting a different part of this video, but when it comes out, it's going to be different.
Yeah, the short video will be better.
The short video will be
a little compressed.
A little compressed. So, well, first of all, again, he's ranked. He's from Utah.
Absolutely.
First off, he's also 9th in the country in run blocking. He grades at a 69.3, a very nice 69.3. He has an offensive grade of 71.6, and he has a low drop rate with his receiving rate of 71.7. Receiving on the PPF grade. So he's a great dual threat. All this coming from a really tough quarterback situation he had last year at UCLA. And obviously having Cam under center is going to definitely just, help improve that a lot.
Yeah, that's huge.
So, I mean, just listen to this room, right? This is the tight end room for the University of Utah. You've got Landon King, Carson Ryan, and Brant Keefe.
Mhm.
I mean, technically he played a wide receiver, but Keefe did. Technically he was as a wide receiver, but he did more of kind of like a hybrid role.
Yeah,
And
because he blocks too.
Because he blocks too, exactly. And while he's out there, he definitely has more of a tight end presence on the field. But just think about that, man. That's legit.
Yeah. So when you include Keefe in tight end receptions in the 2021 season, or sorry, let me start with the 2022 season. So this is with Keefe was kind of injured, but Kincaid was healthy most of the season, right?
Mhm.
And that in the 2022 season with Cam and Kincaid healthy, 33% of targeted passes were at tight ends in the 2022 season.
Okay.
In the 2021 season with Brant Keefe, Dalton Kincaid both healthy,
Mhm.
40% of passes were targeted at tight ends in that season. So with now having Carson Ryan, Brant Keefe back, I think we're going back to that 40+% of targets being at tight ends. So this just tells you that Carson Ryan's going to have a huge opportunity to catch some balls this year, right? He only had 13 receptions last year.
Mhm.
He's probably going to have 3 times that many targets just this year. And like you said, at a 70% catch rate, like this dude's going to have some yards. He's going to have an opportunity to really show that he's the reason he came to Utah, because Utah features their tight ends in a lot of their packages.
Mhm.
And they throw to him. I mean, Cam likes using his tight ends to open up the deep passes. He uses them, he's expected to run block and, keep that play action game open. So this dude's going to have a huge opportunity playing for the Utes. He's going to be a big target he's got an even bigger opportunity.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't know, as a Utes fan, a Utah fan, I'm glad to have him, back in Utah playing for the good guys.
Absolutely. For the good
So,
guys.
mhm.
I like it. Yeah, no, I think he was a great addition. I love how that played out, I just like I said, that room was just going to be insane, and then you add that to all the other players coming back. We did lose a couple of people from the offensive line there. So
Yeah.
all the blocking that we can get, for the
Always going to help, man.
always going to help.
Yeah, because
sure.
we're going to continue running the football.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime we're running the football, they like to use our tight ends to block down and, get into some of those heavy packages. So I don't know. This is going to be exciting. I think Carson Ryan's going to be probably the biggest surprise to anybody, even though he's, the Dorian Singer signing was huge because
Right.
he's this huge wide end receiving weapon. In Kyle Whittingham's after their first practice, he noted that, Singer was kind of the biggest standout so far.
Right.
So Singer's going to be a huge one. Maybe we do a video on him next week and kind of talk how he's going to impact the team.
Definitely.
You guys leave us a comment. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know if you think. Let us know in the comments down below who you think the biggest addition to the Utah Utes will be this season. Are you aligned with us with Carson Ryan, or are you looking at somebody else? So definitely let us know on that. Quick question before we move off the Utes: who do you got going into the fall as QB2?
I think Brandon Rose will be there.
You think?
Yeah, I think so. He's just been with the program a little bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
He has a little better understanding of the offense. I mean, he was never ready at the end of last season, but I think they were probably potentially looking to use that as a redshirt season. I think Brandon Rose will be ready at QB2 if anything does happen to Cam.
Okay. Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one, except I do kind of have a sneaky suspicion that this is going to be something where that's to be named, I think. Because we have this transfer portal opening up right around spring.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where I think they're probably going to go with somebody that may have,
some quarterback experience.
Yes. And, so that's kind of.
But like we've said in previous episodes, man, that's a really tough spot to try to come into because you're literally just banking on Cam Rising getting hurt at that point. Like,
right.
He's QB1. If he's healthy, he's QB1. You're not battling to win it. You're not, you know what I mean? Like, Cam's here and he's healthy. He's our guy.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I'm on duty next week to make sure he's constantly wrapped in bubble wrap.
That would be excellent.
So, if you can just, take care of that next week.
He's going to need it.
Yeah. Again, folks, let us know in the comments down below what you think. We'd love to hear from you. Do we want to do an outro on this one too? Or just want to use the end like we have been?
No, let's just do an outro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the playlist is on your side, by the way.
Yeah, I know. Every time I had to edit it, I was like, I'm an idiot.
Like, dang it. For all the videos last week.
And that was the whole reason we switched it, like what we were saying, remember? Because I used to be the YouTube short guy.
Yeah. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, first, so how do we start this? I start this, right?
Yep, you do.
How do I start this again? Okay, so
if you're watching a short video, if you're watching one of our short videos.
Okay. No, I'm watching. No, because I do the short video and subscribe. You do. If you're watching this on a short video, it's available.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
If you want more on this subject, is what
Yeah,
you
that's what I
say.
do. Yeah.
Okay.
Keep in mind.
But you can actually just say more on the Utes.
I intro because we're talking about the I start with the live stream. I say turn into our live stream, right? Okay, that's how we do it.
There goes 2 minutes of editing.
Exactly. All right, folks. Again, if you're watching this on our live stream, keep in mind this is available as a podcast. You want to catch all of it. It is available. That's not what I'm saying.
Nope.
This is fantastic. This is great. This is great streaming. Once again, folks, keep in mind if you're watching this on YouTube or you're listening to it as a podcast, we do live stream this episode every single week on Wednesday, 7:30 Mountain Time. Make sure you tune in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right there in the middle. It will, and then hit that notification bell so you never miss our live streams.
Yep. And if you're watching one of these videos on YouTube, know this is available audio only wherever you get your podcasts.
Also, if you'd like to hear more about what we're covered today in today's episode, if you'd like to hear more about the subject, link to the playlist will be right here. With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ, and this is the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.
All right, so let's go ahead.
Let's change the color though.
That's going to make editing much easier.
I don't care if it's that color, as long as it's a different color.
Yeah, as long as it's not that color that washed us out like crazy.
Yeah, that one was bad, but this one's not. This one's a good one.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was always weird.
That one made it weird.
Yeah.
Okay, where are we going?
Where do you want to go? You want to go new arena or?
Yeah, let's do new arena.
Okay. All right. So we did keep in mind, folks, this is not the same video. You may be watching this and realizing, hey, I just watched a video about the state of Utah approving $900 million of public funding. No, that was last week's video. And we did tease last week about this week's video where we talk about, basically the state of Utah has approved another $900 million for some downtown renovations. You want to break that down a little bit? Absolutely.
So on SB 272, which again is heading to Spencer Cox for final approval, this was a bill that was introduced for the revitalization of downtown Salt Lake City. The new bill introduced like some downtown safety concerns, including, public safety, homeless mitigation, transportation. And then the framework of this deal pretty much allows an NBA or NHL owner to approach Salt Lake and, agree to revitalize the area and renovate the stadium that currently sits there. With that being said, with the Olympics coming potentially in 10 years, this bill's just in time, right? To have an NHL team and with the Winter Olympics coming, that could give us, a brand new arena. I don't know how long it takes to renovate a whole arena, especially because I'm pretty sure they plan on keeping the main structure of Delta and then adding on to it.
See, that's a big piece there. None of that's specified in this bill.
Absolutely.
So it could be one of two things. One, they can use money to renovate Delta Center, which, by the way, is called Delta Center, not the Delta Center. They've made sure to say that.
It's just Delta Center.
It's just Delta Center.
Whatever.
Exactly. But anyway, so they haven't specified it. So it's either A, the money's going to go towards building a new NHL stadium, a new NHL facility, also having a renovation of the Delta Center, or which, by the way, just came out of $100 million renovation, like 3 years ago?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we're just throwing that money away now and just redoing it again, or what,
And I'm not sure what renovations it actually takes to turn an NBA arena into an NHL arena.
Yeah, there's gonna be a few things. You're gonna have to figure out how to quick freeze the floor and transfer out and then put all the stuff in there. So,
but all of the early renderings, that one that Ryan Smith posted, it has them changing the whole top of the building to
see, that's
crazy glass and massive screens around it, and it's insane.
Yeah, see, that's why I'm thinking they're gonna build a brand new arena, and it's gonna be a co-hosted arena for both the NBA and NHL.
Yeah,
that's kind of my thinking of what that rendering.
I think they just cut the top off of it and put a new one on.
There you go. That works too.
Yeah.
Nothing says hockey like an open air field. So.
Well, no, it would still be open to atmosphere. It's snowing on them in the middle of the games. They're like, "This is the best."
Hey, LA Galaxy had a couple games at Dodger Stadium.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's like 70 degrees outside. You're at a hockey game, but yeah, sure, why not? But no, I really think the big part about this is that's kind of like the rendering kind of speaks to that. Like, there's nothing in the bill specifically saying they're going to build a new building for NHL and then renovating the Delta Center for the Jazz, but there's also nothing saying that it's going to be a combo building. And with your point of the fact that the Olympics are coming in 2034, we're not saying that we've gotten the signing because it hasn't been announced by the Olympic Committee yet, but we are strong favorites. That it'd be nice to have an extra facility to host more events.
Yeah.
In downtown Salt Lake City versus sending everybody out to.
And I think not to mention, like, Salt Lake City is probably 20 years past due for an actual like revitalization, right?
Oh,
our downtown area is just terrible. And they've tried fixing some of the, they've added City Creek and I mean,
gorgeous, by the way.
It's beautiful, but the fact is that's just one area, right? Like, you should have a downtown area that's centered around something, and we don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like you're either in City Creek or you're at the Gateway, or like, you have all these areas, but it's not like a downtown area that you're going to draw people in purely off of it being a fantastic metropolitan area.
Yeah, they're saying they're going to create a sports entertainment district downtown.
And that's exactly what we need.
Yeah, I would agree. Ryan Smith wrote in his post on Twitter that the downtown Salt Lake City is the heart of Utah. Our efforts are not about an arena. It's about revitalizing a downtown that desperately needs investment. Imagine a downtown experience like this with the NBA and the NHL at its core. And, I think you're spot on there with that take there. I think that's exactly what we're overdue for it. I just remember the time we were building City Creek and how long that took.
Yeah.
But speaking of time though, did you see what he wrote on this when he talked about it, that the Delta Center could host NHL games as soon as next season?
Absolutely.
Which I think is pretty awesome.
I mean,
real quick.
I think they could. But I think the Delta Center can host NHL games already, can't it?
Yeah, it does. It hosts 5 preseason games called Fury.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Hockey fans, let us know in the comments down below.
Please.
I know we're missing it. It's like Frozen Fury. That's what it's called.
Yeah,
Frozen Fury.
Like
there it is. There it is. But yeah, so we've hosted 5 preseason games. The LA Galaxy comes up here and they play someone. It's been 5. We've hosted 5 of them so far, so we already know we can do it. But yeah, I don't know, man. Here's the thing about that. Where do you sit on this? Like, from the standpoint of the NHL, where are you sitting on this whole thing? Are you for it, or
on bringing the NHL here? Is that
yes.
what you're saying? Yeah, I mean, bringing the NHL here is awesome. I don't want it to be prioritized over bringing an MLB team here.
No, definitely not.
So, but I mean, I'm all for revitalizing that area to make it feel like we have a downtown that people actually want to hang out in.
Agreed.
Because as of right now, you don't go to downtown to just hang out there. You may go there for a restaurant or a game or a store. You don't just go there to hang out, because it's not that type of place. I mean,
you go there to like a concert or or a restaurant, like you said. You're not down there because you for anything specific.
Yeah.
There's either a conference in town, or B, you're going to see a Jazz game. That's pretty much the gist of it there.
Yeah.
So here's the thing about that when it comes to the NHL is my thinking is the NHL ready to expand right now?
I think they're probably one of the more major league programs that are ready to expand, I think.
Now, let me rephrase that. Are they ready to expand again?
Yeah, because they just expanded, 3 years ago or something?
They're already at 32 teams.
Yeah, bring it on. 2 more.
2 more teams. About 6 years ago, they added the Golden Knights. And about 2 years later than that, they added in the Seattle Kraken. They already have 2 conferences and 4 divisions within each conference.
Holy cow.
So that's as many teams as in the NFL. That's more teams that are in baseball.
Right.
And that's more teams that are in basketball. I'd say on the hierarchy of sports, you got NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, then hockey.
Yeah.
And you already have more teams in more markets than two of the franchises that are above you.
Yeah.
Like 2 of the team sports that are above you. I don't know, man.
That is a tough one. I guess when you put it that way,
especially when there's so many NHL franchises that are currently struggling.
Then move Arizona here.
I'm glad we're on the same page there. There definitely is some talk about how Arizona, now there is talks about they do have a 100-acre facility somewhere, land that they found they're going to be able to get approval for funding on.
But it's even further away from the area that they're even playing right now.
Yeah, it's in Scottsdale somewhere. Yeah, it's not great. It's kind of like, it reminds me of the Tampa Bay situation where they're not even playing in Tampa Bay. They're playing in St. Petersburg.
Right.
And they put the stadium even further away. when they decide to redo that. That's exactly what the Arizona thing happened. I don't know. Let us know, Coyote fans. Let us know in the comments down below what you think as far as the relocation option there for Arizona. They're not the only ones. There are some other ones, especially some in Canada that are struggling. Franchises that are struggling, and is really this the time for the NHL to really expand? I don't know. I'm thinking relocation is more likely to happen in hockey than it is in baseball for Utah.
Right.
That's just kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know what you think.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, that it sounds more likely, especially because I know that Arizona franchise down there is looking to probably move sooner than later.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, just to cover the logistics of the bill there, it's now on Governor Cox, waiting for him to sign it into law. It did go back to the Senate to reconfirm after they made some changes on the financing. How they're financing this one is not on hotel taxes. This is actually a 0.5% increase in a designated downtown area of Salt Lake City. This passed the House on 50 to 20 votes, and in the Senate 24 to 7, respectfully. So, yeah, that bill's into law, waiting to be signed by Governor Cox. So
he's going to sign it.
So it's a Major League Baseball one. So
yep,
we'll see what happens there.
I'm excited. Bring it all to Utah.
That's right. Bring it all. Bring it all. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I think it'd be kind of fun to cover some additional sports there. Which, by the way, we got to get some Warriors games this year. Have you heard about the Utah Warriors?
I have, and I've actually been thinking that same thing.
I love me some rugby, man. I got a chance to be a PA announcer for an international rugby tournament here in Salt Lake, and it was probably a lot, probably one of the most fun sporting events I've ever been to.
Tickets are cheap too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
we should go.
We definitely should go. If you're watching this and you're a fan of the Warriors, let us know what you think there. Also let us know what you think about the possibility of Utah bringing in an NHL team. Are you excited about it? Do you want expansion over relocation? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below.
Absolutely.
Also, folks, we're on the grind to 1,000 subscribers. We are getting so close there. Once we hit 1,000, we are going to be giving away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. 5 subscribers are each going to earn $100. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos when we make that announcement.
Yep. And if you're watching on one of our short videos, make sure you know this is available. The whole episode in its entirety is available as a podcast wherever you get your audio.
And if you'd like to see more about what we talked about when it comes to local sports, you'll see a playlist right here that'll cover all that. So if you want to see more of that, check that out. Also, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button in the middle. Make sure you join us for our live broadcasts where we broadcast this live streaming every Wednesday, 7:30 Mountain Time. With all that said, my name is Darren. That is AJ. This is the DNA Sports Recap.
Till next time.
All right, let's go ahead and pivot on over.
Let's go ahead and switch the color.
Yep. I like the color change. It's looking good.
Did it switch it?
Yep.
Okay.
We're green now.
Excellent.
We're green now. Where do you want to go, Rudy?
Yep.
All right. All right. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the NBA. Let's go ahead and dive into, let's talk about the comments that were made by Rudy Gobert, shall we?
Ex-Jazz player Rudy Gobert.
Once Jazz man, always a Jazz man, I say.
I love Rudy, man. I miss him.
I do too. And
every time I watch Timberwolves games, I'm just like, man, I miss just like
he impacts winning, man.
The impact, just the defensive impact, like the pick and roll pressure that he can apply. I mean, like you're not worried about somebody rolling off of any of our Jazz centers after they set a screen.
No.
And with Rudy, like he took that roll guy every single time.
Imagine what this Jazz team would look like with Rudy Gobert at the 5.
Yep.
I mean, no offense to Kessler. Great center, young. We'll see what happens with him. But when you got Rudy at the 5 and you got Larry at the 4, probably have Larry at the 3, John Collins at the 4. By the way, speaking of John Collins, man, he's really stepped up his D lately. Have you noticed that?
Played much, much better basketball.
Yeah. We definitely want to talk a little bit about the Jazz. We'll get into that in a minute here, but let's go ahead and talk about the comments that basically what happened with Rudy Gobert. Do you want to break this down or you want me to?
You can start it. Go into it.
So Rudy Gobert made an inappropriate gesture. Let me put that. Let me do that. Let me say that again. Rudy Gobert made a gesture that the league deemed inappropriate and was fined $100,000. Now, what is that inappropriate gesture, you might ask? Exactly. So Rudy Gobert gets fined $100,000 for making a money sign, money greasing the palms type gesture with both hands after a ref made a call. Now, Rudy thinks the call was not valid. Replay showed that it was a valid call, so it's not really on that call there. But basically, Rudy's comments after the game kind of pulled fuel on the fire here.
Yeah.
by stating that the referees are now being influenced by sports betting. What's your take on this?
Well, I mean, first of all, that $100,000 fine that he got slapped with is the largest fine assessed to any player in the NBA so far this season. And to go into that, the Cavs were 2.5-point favorites in that game. Tight game that goes into overtime, and guess who ends up winning?
The Cavs.
Weird.
Yeah.
So
go figure.
I guess the big thing is that you can't tell me that with all of the sports betting that is currently influencing every professional sport, that there is not dollars that have to be made and spent on every single one of these games.
Yeah, so that's going to be my first question to you. Is Rudy wrong on that?
Yes, he is, because the biggest reason that Rudy's wrong is because he has absolutely zero proof that any refs received any money, that they are flipping games anyway. The NBA went on to say that they have a whole department that all they do that are just data analysts, and all they do is make sure the games aren't being flipped either way. He was upset.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he made a comment. It's going to cost him $100,000.
So your justification behind the fine?
Yeah, I mean, it was inappropriate and unprofessional towards a game official for publicly criticizing the officiating.
Well, they're saying this fine was as high as it was because it wasn't his first offense.
Yeah, because he's made multiple comments in post-game interviews about the officiating.
So why wasn't he fined beforehand? Like, I don't know. I'm calling BS, man. I'm throwing the flag. There is something to this, we have proof.
Yeah,
we have proof. If you listen to ESPN 700, The Drive with Spence Checkets, he did notice that there has been, he's pointed out, and there's been a few that have picked this up nationally, is that there's been a dramatic drop in scoring in the NBA since the trade deadline and the All-Star game. A dramatic drop in scoring.
Really?
And you notice that the calls where setting players to the line has dropped dramatically. There are less free throw attempts. There are less, and ones across the league. Now the league has come out and said they haven't made any official statement towards the referee saying, hey, we want you to call games a little tighter or a little differently, but it has been noticeable. And there's a lot of national media that has noticed this as well. And this wouldn't be the first time. I mean, everybody's quite familiar with the cheating scandal from back in the day, right?
Where, absolutely.
What's his name? Can't remember off the top of my head, but the ref that got caught for, calling a bookie.
There's a good specialist. There's a good special on Netflix about it, actually.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah, definitely check that out after you watch this show, of course.
Yeah, all the way to the end.
All the way to the end. Hit that like button too, by the way. It helps this. Really helps out the channel. You haven't yet. But anyway, here's this is Tony Kornheiser of PTI. Pardon the interruption. I believe Adam Silver has a crisis right now. He said Gobert is saying the guy is taking money. There's an integrity to this game. You can say he's joking. You can say he doesn't believe it, but he is saying it. And Adam Silver has this in his closet with Tim Donaghy. That's the ref, by the way.
Oh, that's who it is. Yep.
Yeah, with the Tim Donaghy situation back in the day. You've got to go out there and make sure the public doesn't think he's right. In hindsight, I'm not sure the fine was enough. And there's a good point to that, man. It was just came out. AM Hoops did an awesome video on this. We'll link it down below if I can find it, if I can be bothered to do it. But he talked about how this is not new. You can go to the great John Stockton. You can go to Michael Jordan. You can go to every player that set a record where the majority of the points or the assists or whatever, or the blocks that they've gotten were heavily swayed to the home versus roads. Like, remember when Michael Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah.
84 of his blocks were at home. Only 40 were on the road. So there's a huge thing about that, and how people have actually come out and said, hey, as a 19-year-old kid, they want me to stuff the stat line to make it look better, because the NBA is trying to get out. This was a big problem back in the day. And this is something they did clean up. And this is not the first time someone made a money sign at the ref. What's his name? With the Mavericks.
Luka,
thank you. Luka. He did this before. And, this came out, I believe, just recently. If I can find it here. There is a comment here. I can't find it. It's in my notes. Where'd it go? But basically, this all came down. So do you remember last year? Do you remember Triple J? The Controversy for Triple J,
I don't.
Jared Jackson Jr. Do you
Oh, okay.
remember the controversy with him last year?
I don't remember the controversy. No.
Okay, so basically, last year, a Reddit user stated that Triple J is way better at home than he is on the road,
Okay.
and it went off like the internet just grabbed a hold of it and ran with it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, it's so good that the NBA didn't have the internet in the 90s versus now, because, oh my goodness, this would be a problem. But random Reddit user actually had proof that Triple J was much better as on the home team than he was on the road. And they were saying that they were stuffing the stats for him on the line to make him better, and there's actually evidence of this. Now, right after that, 24 hours after that broke, Adam Silver held an emergency meeting 24 hours later to make sure that everything was in check. You talked about that, how they have like a whole committee and everything. Yeah, he came down and locked this to make sure this isn't happening. But I think there's just too much. Where there's smoke, there's fire, man. There's just too much smoke around this right now.
Right.
That's kind of where I'm saying. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think you'd be delusional to think that there is not something happening that says that there's any setup to some of these games. Because you and I have been Jazz fans for a long time,
Mhm.
and there's times when you're watching, you're just like, we can't buy a call.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, we're getting absolutely hacked to death every single time we bring the ball into the paint, and they're just not blowing the whistle. And then you go to the other side and they get a whistle. I mean, they like breathe or look at them the wrong way, and it's like, boop,
Yeah.
whistle.
Like that call against Keontae the other day when he didn't
Yeah,
touch
I mean,
him.
Just didn't even touch him. Yeah. And so it definitely feels like sometimes that the whistle is being blown a certain way for certain guys. And I do think some of that happens undoubtedly, right?
Mhm.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is going to get a much better whistle than Keontae George is.
Of course.
So, but I mean, I guess in my heart of hearts, I hope that the NBA is not doing anything, and that it is still a game of integrity, that they are letting players play these games out and win these games. Because that's what makes basketball great, is players going out there and you're watching the best basketball players in the world compete night in and night out. But
I do think there's one stat that's going to tell everything.
What's that?
If you watch the in-season tournament next year, watch to see if they change the rules to that, and see if the point differential changes.
Right.
If it changes and saying the point differential is not going to be part of it next year, then you'll know that betting has its influence on the NBA. And it's making, because that was a big point this year, is that a lot of teams were playing hacka center defense and trying to ring up their point differential on the tournament games so they can, advance in the tournament, because that was a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. If it was a tiebreaker, it was settled by point differential.
Yeah. So they were trying to do that. They would, even though they have a 30-point lead, they would hack the worst 3-point free throw shooter on the other team to try and build that gap up a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it did happen this year, and the betting community freaked out about it because they were rooting spreads. So we'll see if that changes this year.
That's pretty interesting, actually.
If it does, you heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first.
So make sure you hit that follow button.
Exactly. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and let us know what you think there for sure. I don't know. What do you think about all this? I know in your heart of hearts you want it to not be the case, and I always will defend Rudy. But in this case, this is one of those things that's going to make him kind of harder to defend him, because, like, dude, there was obviously a foul there.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like, to wrap it all up, he may not be wrong, but he didn't need to do it, because honestly, that was a foul.
Yeah.
So I don't know. What do you think?
I mean, like you said, where there's smoke, there's fire.
True. We love you, Rudy.
Yeah.
We love you. All right. Well, once again, folks, if you're watching this, keep in mind this is a live stream. We do this every Wednesday at 7:30 Mountain Time. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, so you never miss our live streams.
Yep. And if you're watching this as one of our short videos on YouTube, it is available wherever you get your podcast, audio only. There will be a link right there.
And if you'd like to see more about what we covered on this subject, there'll be a link to a playlist right here. Make sure you click that to see what we covered as well. As again, hit that subscribe button in the middle. We are giving away $500. The first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue, we're giving back to our subscribers. So if you are subscribed to the channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out when we announce that giveaway.
Yes.
All that said, my name's Darren. That's AJ. This is the DNA Sports Recap.
Until next time. Until next subject.
All right, let's go ahead and move on over. Let's pivot over to a little bit about Major League Baseball, shall we?
Excellent.
All right, let's cover the breaking news, because this is probably the first video that we need to get out tonight.
Breaking news.
Nice.
How'd I do?
Great. You're editing this video because I don't
That's a
have anything.
horrible idea.
Because I don't have anything that could do that with you. My software. Your software probably does.
I do.
So you just volunteered. Tell us about the latest trade in Major League Baseball.
All right. The most recent trade in the MLB, pitcher Dylan Cease, the 28-year-old pitcher, previously signed to the Sox, was traded to the San Diego Padres. This guy's got one of the best sliders in baseball. He was a runner-up for the American League Cy Young in 2022. That year, he had a 2.2 ERA. That ERA did jump up to 4.58 last year. He's currently under team control for this year and the next year, making $8 million a season. The trade to the Padres is, a fantastic move for them. Obviously, they ditched a bunch of guys in this offseason, so they weren't looking to add a whole lot to their payroll.
So the Padres, right? That's the team that's in California, I believe.
I do believe.
Yeah,
that is
still
where
part of
he
Major
is
League Baseball,
currently
right?
located. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, running gag for all you DNA OGs out there.
Yeah. we forgot the Padres.
Yeah. Just like every other free agent.
Except for Dylan Cease.
Well, he's not a free agent. They had to trade for him.
Oh, that's true.
Sorry.
He didn't even have a choice.
He didn't have a choice. Oh, we're being so mean to Padres fans.
Hey, but if you didn't have a choice and you had somewhere to go if you had to pick between Chicago and San Diego, I'm picking San Diego all day.
And the north side of Chicago, where the White Sox play, it's not even Wrigley Field.
Absolutely not.
Sorry, White Sox fans.
Yeah. So the return for Dylan Cease is the White Sox got back a top 100 pitching prospect in Drew Thorpe. He was part of the Juan Soto trade. Also, a prospect that's just out of the top 100, Jairo Irarte. These are both great pitching prospects that obviously were both pitchers. So obviously, the White Sox are looking to more towards their future, in the exchange for Cease. So
yeah, I like it. You think that they're not going to be able to sign him, so you might as well cash in now. That's all they got for Dylan Cease, really.
Yeah.
Too bad they weren't going after Dylan Crease.
Is it Crease?
No, again, another joke from a previous video.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Cause I don't know how to talk. It's funny.
No, you had to autocorrect. It's
funny?
autocorrected. What's that? Crease.
It autocorrected down there too.
Again. Yeah. Sorry. So autocorrects to Dylan Crease whenever you try to type in Dylan Cease.
Yeah.
So if anybody watched our own video, I gave him hell for calling him Dylan Crease. I'm like, I don't know who Dylan Crease is. I know who Dylan Cease is.
I was like, I know for a fact that I typed it correct at the top.
That's awesome. I don't know. It's not a lot to give up. A couple of pitching prospects, one top 100. Is it top 100 in the MLB or just top 100 in their farm system?
I think it's probably in the MLB. One of them is a top 100, and the other one's just outside the top 100 in the MLB as far as pitching prospects.
Starting pitcher with 2 years of control, that's not a lot. That is not a lot. Yankees fans, let me know in the comments down below. How do you feel about that, man? Because I know you were in the run for that guy. There's a lot of rumors correcting the Yankees to it, especially with the fact that Garrett Cole is being shut down right now for the preseason due to elbow soreness.
Right.
So, yeah, not great to be a Yankees fan right now. Your frontline ace is not going to be ready for the start of the season. It would have been nice to have, Dylan Cease as a potential option there. So, yeah,
because he's still
didn't give a lot up for that guy.
No, and obviously the Padres still have Yu Darvish, Joe Musgraves. They've got some pitchers on Musgrove. Autocorrect.
Yeah.
Had to be
autocorrect. Joe Musgrove.
Joe Musgrove. So
Mr. Shiny Ear himself.
He's not even going to be, like their starting day opener or anything.
Right.
But this is a great pickup. Especially at that price for the Padres.
The Padres are actually starting Yu Darvish on the start of the season when they play the Dodgers in Seoul.
That's going to be awesome.
That would be really cool if they did the Darvish versus Yamamoto, but the Dodgers didn't do that. Tyler Glasnow is going to start.
That's not going to happen.
So not Japanese versus Japanese one. Then we're going to do Tyler Glasnow, which, by the way, 5 and 1/3 innings, no hit baseball in his last start.
Jeez.
His start looked so good. His throw looked so effortless. And then in the game today where Yamamoto pitched, the kid got lit up.
Really?
Yamamoto got lit up, man. Oh my gosh. Highest paid pitcher in baseball. And he's gotten lit up in spring training. So, I've given him some time because there's, from the Japanese league to to the MVP to the MLB, there's a lot of changes. The ball's different, the mound's different. There's a lot of changes you got to get used to. So I'm not really hugely surprised there, but yeah, he got lit up, man. I don't know, man. My final takeaway on that trade there is that I'm super excited for the Padres, man. The National League West is better when there's more than just one or two good teams.
You're talking about the Padres that are in California, right?
Yes, the Padres in California.
Verifying that one more time.
We do believe that they're part of the baseball.
Yes.
You know,
our apologies.
We promise. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think that wasn't a lot to give up for the guy, man. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, am I wrong there? Like,
no, I mean, I think you are, but that's only assuming that you're getting, former runner-up to Cy Young Dylan Cease. The fact is last year he had a 4.58 ERA.
Okay,
that wasn't a great season. He's getting a chance to go and show himself over the next 2 years and then earn that next contract.
How much of that was Dylan Cease and how much of that was the organization, though? I don't know. Are the White Sox a great pitching developing organization?
Probably not, but I mean, he was good enough in 2022 to be the runner-up.
Yeah, well, there might be a whole reason for that. We won't get into that, but yeah, no, I agree with you, man. You're probably right. It seems like they didn't give him up much to him, but in reality, he did have a down year last year. So it's a very good point. Very, very good point. Let us know in the comments down below, folks. Let us know what you think. If you are a Dylan Cease supporter or if you're a White Sox fan, you guys got a couple of great prospects back. So good for you on that. But 2 years of control for your frontline starter, that doesn't seem like you gave up a lot for them to get him. So I don't know. Let's know how you guys feel in the comments down below for sure. Also, folks, if you're liking what you see, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We are giving away the first $500 that we earn in AdSense revenue back to our subscribers. So make sure that you click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on anything that we talked about.
Yep. And if you're watching this on one of our short videos on YouTube, this is available audio only wherever you get your podcast. Should be a link right here.
And you'd like to hear more about what we covered in Major League Baseball, there'll be a link to a playlist right here. Make sure you click that so you can see what else we talked about in Major League Baseball so far. Let's go ahead and pivot on over to
the man, the myth, and the legend that hasn't played on U.S. soil for 194 games.
That's some detailed notes there. I like what you're starting off with this. Okay, so we teased this on a previous episode, actually not last week, but the week before, where I believe you said we need to talk Trevor Bauer.
We do, always.
Yeah, we got to talk
always.
Trevor
For
Bauer.
some reason, our fans sincerely enjoy.
Yeah, our viewers, our listeners definitely enjoy a little bit of talk about Trevor Bauer.
Yep.
And all right, let's go ahead and get into it. What happened with Trevor Bauer over the weekend?
So I mean, he was obviously pitching in his first game in American soil. He did have that 194 game suspension. I just want to go on and say, I mean, dude, this is 3 years removed from a 3-year, $102 million contract that Trevor Bauer signed.
Yeah. So fully remember that contract.
I mean, that's insane.
Yeah.
But he goes out, he's on, I can't remember the team name. Who did he just play for?
Oh gosh, it was the Asian. Well, oh gosh, I hate to say the name because it sounds racist for saying it. But
wow,
it does, doesn't it,
Darren? It does, but I didn't even make the note of it.
Yeah. Gosh, the team was called. Give me a second. Give me the Asian Breeze.
The Asian Breeze.
They're a Japanese team that are here playing against minor league talent, basically.
Yep, and it's pretty much just like a scout team, right? So you pay to play on the team, and it gives you an opportunity to play in front of MLB scouts and leaders and all that kind of stuff, right? It gets you onto that circuit.
Yes.
So he was here, had a great showing against, in Major League. He had, like 4 strikeouts in this game. And this is a guy, that stated he will play anywhere in Major League Baseball for a minimum salary of $740,000. And if the team changes their mind, they can release him with no questions asked.
So I've heard this quote about the contract, and everybody's getting this wrong.
Okay.
You're not the only one who's getting this wrong when he says he's willing to play for league minimum. He's not willing to play for league minimum. He's willing to sign for league minimum on an incentive-based contract.
Gotcha.
Which is where he's messing up. If you'd actually say, I will play for a year on a veteran minimum contract, I'm willing to bet you he gets signed. Because it'll be worth a player to piss off Major League Baseball enough to sign him for that. Because there's a lot of, right now, Scott Boras is licking his chops because he is pretty close to, getting Snell or Jordan Montgomery a fat contract because all these pitchers are going down with injury, which, by the way, let us know in the comments down below if you think we need to cover the whole, elbow issue with Major League Baseball. It seems like a lot of players are dropping with pitching injuries lately.
Yeah, absolutely.
We definitely need to cover that. So let us know. Texans. we got a comment there. Let's see, who's this? Where's my mouse? That's never good when you can't find your mouse. Let's see here. So we got a comment there from, what's that? Can you see that?
Reglo boy?
Regio boy yelling Texans. Nice. I like it. I like it. I don't know what we said about Texas so far, but I like it there.
We'll go with it.
We're good with it. We're good with
Thanks
it.
for watching.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comment. We deeply appreciate it. Thank you for that. Let's go ahead and again, so when it comes to Trevor Bauer, he pitched well. He averages normally on his fastball around 93, 94 miles an hour. He hit 99 on the gun in this game.
Absolutely, which is crazy.
Yeah, which is crazy. He did strike out 4 players. And keep in mind, this is the Dodgers, but it is the Dodgers minor league B-side, backfield team that he was playing against.
Right.
So it's not like he was facing Shohei or anything like that, right? So,
I mean, he currently has no tryout scheduled. So he's pretty much just heading back to Scottsdale, Arizona. He's going to continue working out, trying to stay ready. So my question for you, do you think Trevor has a shot at getting signed anywhere this year?
Not what he's currently asking for. He's asking for an incentive-based contract, which basically means with incentives built in, he's going to make more money.
Right.
Right. If he would just agree to sign for the veteran minimum, like Rich Hill did, like another starting pitcher who got basically casted out of the league and saying, no, he had to sign rookie A-ball league, an independent league as a starting pitcher to build up his repertoire and get signed. And he's been a major league pitcher like for the last 10 years, but he did take the veteran minimum to prove it.
Yeah.
And then the Dodgers rewarded him with like a 3-year contract. The way he's doing it, no, he's not going to get back in Major League Baseball. I don't think so. But this is his quote that he said on that. He says, I mean, if you think about it, I should have had the opportunity to sign with a big league team, Bauer said in a scrum with media members shortly after his outing. I'm just asking for the league minimum, which he's not. So it's not a money thing. I've served my suspension twice over. I've been cleared of everything in the legal system. If you think about it logically, there's no reason why I shouldn't have a job, but I don't. So it is what it is. We'll see how it plays out. I don't predict the future, so we'll see. He also made a comment saying about how he's still one of the best pitchers in baseball. Here's a guy who's not eaten any humble pie, really. He went on Fox News. And
even a little bit.
He did say that he made some, like he did on his Fox News interview where he kind of went in there and said, I've made some bad choices off the field. And, he was bullied as a kid. Didn't want to use that as an excuse. But I can definitely understand how he reacted the way he reacted to any confrontation, the way he acted. If you're bullied as a kid, you're going to lash back because you're tired of doing it, your whole life and being on your heels, right? But no, the way he's doing
being bullied as a kid and then being undoubtedly the best baseball player in his whole high school,
right?
In his whole college team,
not his whole college team.
No,
he was on the UCLA team with Garrett Cole.
Okay.
Who said he'd never make it? He'd never make it as a Major League Baseball pitcher.
But I mean, obviously, still a major league talent.
Yes, still a major league talent, absolutely. But the problem is, like I said, it's not about the suspension. It's not about what he did. I say this all the time, and I feel bad because you're a Braves fan. And I keep picking on this guy. But Marcell Ozuna was literally on video choking his spouse on camera from a police body cam. He served a suspension, back in baseball. Why isn't Trevor Bauer?
And it's pretty much because of the way that he handles all these situations, right?
Exactly. It's his constant beef with the commissioner of baseball, constant beef with even Ken Rosenthal. He called one of the best reporters in baseball a gossip columnist. And he dedicated his whole live blog that year to gossip columnist Ken Rosenthal. You're like, dude, what are you doing? He's constantly getting in. It's all his off the field antics. It's all of the way he talks. Like once baseball had you out, why would the commissioner ever let you back in with the way you talked about baseball? The hand that literally fed you. Why would you talk about these people like that?
Right.
So when they have a chance to not let you in, they're going to take it, man.
Yep.
Basically, he needs to eat a little humble pie. He needs to take the actual veteran minimum salary to be in Major League Baseball. He needs to go into.
You got a comment?
He needs to go, and we'll definitely cover that. He needs to go to the commissioner's office and explain that he will be on his best behavior.
Yeah.
And, he's done up to it. He needs to be willing to do that. The Dodgers were willing to take him back after last year if he just apologized, did a public apology. Not apology for the whole case, but apology for what he did for baseball. He refused to do it, so the Dodgers didn't bring him back. He then apologized a year later when he realized baseball wasn't bringing him back, but a little too late for sure.
Yep.
Let's see here. We have a comment there from Tammy Price. He has a chip on his shoulder. He definitely does. And I'm not against him pitching in baseball. I think he does belong. He's a talent that does belong in baseball, but he's definitely the type of player that baseball doesn't want back.
Yep. Unfortunately for him.
It has nothing to do with the case, which is sad. So
thanks for the comment, Tammy.
Thank you very much, Tammy, for the comment for sure. You got anything else on Trevor Bauer?
That's what I got, man.
All right.
That's it.
You got anything else on baseball?
That's it. That's it. That's all my notes. And autocorrect will probably mess up half of them anyway.
Yes, we better not add any more, right?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. So Dylan Crease or Jordan Musgrave.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you ever see that Jordan? Do you ever see the? It's not. What's his first name? Musgrove. What's his first name?
Oh, the one I just said.
Yeah. Fully spaced his first name.
Joe
Musgrove. Did you ever see what happened to him when he played? And he had his ears were just unusually shiny.
No.
So they thought he was using a foreign substance. It was very uncomfortable, man. They went out there, the ref went out there and fondled his ear for 5 minutes. I'm like, dude, I'm getting uncomfortable with how this is turning out.
Maybe the umpire had an ear fetish that he was just itching.
What are we talking about here? You're like, this is getting uncomfortable. Why are we zoomed in so close to this man's ear while another man funnels his ear? It's very, very uncomfortable. Anyway, but yeah, so I'm super excited. The Soul Series does take place next week. I unfortunately will be missing it because I will be out of town again.
Lame.
Yeah, so
are we recording next Wednesday? Are you gonna be gone?
Yeah, we need to talk about that.
Okay. Let's do that off air. Let's wrap this thing up.
We'll wrap this up. So once again, folks, we appreciate you for tuning in. Actually, let's go ahead and jump in. Let's do an outro on the baseball. Actually, we did one for the other side of it, the Dylan Cease trade. Should we keep the same one?
Be fine.
Yeah. So just the regular outro there.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Well, once again, folks, we appreciate you joining us here on the live stream here for the DNA Sports Recap. Keep in mind, we do this every week. Next week will be hopefully a little earlier than this week because I will, again, unfortunately, guys, we have day jobs, man. We just can't really,
struggle is real.
The struggle is
real. You guys go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We can fix that.
Yeah, exactly. Your boy's got to keep these lights on somehow. If you were here last week, the lights didn't work. So we had to book some overtime to get these lights on. So yeah. We appreciate it. But once again, folks, thank you all for tuning in for the DNA Sports Recap, the live stream version of the show. We really appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and sign off now and cover our outro. So once again, deeply appreciate you guys joining us. Thank you for commenting. And we'll see you next week for sure.
Absolutely.
Do we have an outro? Should we just let it go?
Just let it roll.
All right. Well, once again, folks, appreciate it. Cheers to all of you out there in the internet. Cheers to you. And cheers to you, my friend. Good night, folks.